Today we're talking all about beginner crochet mistakes, and full disclosure, I have made every single one of them, but I want to save you the time and the trouble with these simple solutions. Hi, I'm Elise from the blog LePetitSaintCrochet.com, and I became a certified crochet instructor through the Craft Yarn Council because I am deeply passionate about helping people discover their own inner creativity through crocheting and knitting. And as a recovering perfectionist, I know how hard it is when you are a beginner and you make those mistakes because it has the potential to derail this beautiful journey that you're on. And I don't want you to feel that way because making mistakes is part of the learning process, and I want you to start looking at your mistakes that way. They're not a problem, they are part of how you learn. But there is a point where you don't need to waste time, and there are a couple of mistakes that are actually super harmful to you, and they're the last two that I'm going to talk about. And I want you to make sure to stay to the end because they are vital to your crocheting journey. You're going to find links to everything that I'm talking about in the description box below. And if you want to save this for later, make sure to click the link to the blog post, scroll all the way down, and there is an actual Pinterest pin. You can click right on it and it will go right to your Pinterest board. You can save it and come back to this at a later time. The very first and one of the most detrimental mistakes that you can be making as a beginner crocheter is having a perfectionist mentality. You have to let go of it because it is not serving you well. I want you to adopt the mentality that learning how to crochet is a series of mistakes and then correcting those mistakes and building skills and getting better little by little. So don't get hung up on little mistakes or even big mistakes because they're all correctable and you will get better the more you keep practicing. But make sure to throw out that perfectionist mentality because it isn't helping you at all. And as someone who is a recovering perfectionist, I know this is a very difficult thing to do, but it's going to be the best thing you can do for your creative journey. And if you're a recovering perfectionist like me, leave me a little heart emoji down in the comment section below. It can be any color you want, and I will know that you're a recovering perfectionist too. Some of these mistakes actually come from direct messages that I get on Instagram or comments that I get on my YouTube channel, and this is definitely one of those. This beginner mistake is not memorizing abbreviations for crochet patterns. I want you to take the time to make sure that you are memorizing those abbreviations, and if you need a little handout that you could keep right by you, I've got one free on the blog that you can just click, download, and you can print it or keep it on your phone or tablet or wherever you like to keep those types of resources. So make sure to take the time to, over time, you don't have to do it all in one day, but just keep that resource handy so that you can memorize those crochet abbreviations because it is going to help you in the long run. This next beginner crochet mistake is something that I actually see quite frequently on my YouTube channel. I get this comment a lot. I don't use patterns, I only follow video tutorials. Please do yourself a favor and don't continue to rely on video tutorials. At some point, I want you to begin to learn how to read a crochet pattern. I actually have a video all about it. I'm gonna make this simple. It's just a matter of decoding. Once you have those crochet abbreviations, whether you just have them right next to you or you begin to memorize them, it really is just line by line decoding what each one of those abbreviations means and what the little parentheses mean and all of that. It really isn't that difficult. I hear this comment so frequently. I'm a visual learner. I don't do those types of things. And I'm here to tell you that by not learning how to read a crochet pattern, you are limiting yourself. Trust me that 99% of you can learn how to read a crochet pattern. It's not that hard. Remember that first mistake about being a perfectionist, and that's what you need to do when you're learning how to read a crochet pattern. Don't be a perfectionist. Know that you're going to make some mistakes, but that's how we learn, and it's a good thing. So celebrate when you make one, pat yourself on the back. And learning how to read a crochet pattern is just a skill like everything else. The next mistake is trusting anybody to teach you how to crochet. And I know that as a certified crochet instructor, I'm a little bit picky about this part, but it is really a big deal. A lot of us learn how to crochet from maybe our grandma or maybe a friend and YouTube videos, and I think all of those are great resources out there. there, but I want you to get a little bit more picky when you are trying to learn, especially the fundamentals. So I know I told you in the last mistake not to rely on video tutorials, but you can use video tutorials to learn some of the fundamentals. I just don't want you to only rely on video tutorials for how to make entire patterns. So for example, make sure that when you are learning how to crochet from someone, that it is a trusted expert. I really love Tony from TL Yarn Crafts. She is incredible, and I love Brittany from Be Hooked. They are both great crochet instructors. They know what they're talking about, and they are true professionals. Sometimes when we learn from all of these scattered different resources, we learn to do things incorrectly. And I know that that's not necessarily a big deal, but it can cause problems in the long run. Be a little bit picky about who you are learning your crochet skills from. I've got little Pickle here. He wants to make an appearance. But the next mistake that beginners make is not experimenting with how you hold your crochet hook. There are two main ways that most people learn how to hold a crochet hook, and that is the knife hold and the pencil hold. I generally crochet with the knife hold, but I began experimenting with the pencil hold in the last couple of years because I started noticing a little bit of tension in my arm from holding the crochet hook the exact same way. I'm sorry, Pickle makes a lot of noise when he knows I'm filming because he wants the attention as well. And I have found that experimenting with that has helped me to relieve some muscle tension, but also it actually is fun to try and do it a different way. So make sure to experiment a little bit with that. You can try the knife hold if you're more of a pencil hold person, or vice versa. It really does help to figure out what works best for you. And experimenting is the way to figure those things out. One of the biggest beginner crochet mistakes is not fixing your tension issues in the beginning. So most beginner crocheters do struggle with tension. You're either way too tight or you're way too loose, and it takes practice to get your tension right, because when you're crocheting and it's way too tight, it's not going to be a pleasant experience and your projects aren't going to turn out the way that you want them to. And if you're way too loose, you're also going to have problems. And one of the best resources out there for tension is Sigoni Macaroni. She has a great playlist on her YouTube channel all about tension, and I'm calling Sigoni the Crochet Tension Queen. She really knows what she's talking about here, and she will help you fix your tension issues. So make sure not to ignore that and spend the time that you need to really perfect your tension and get it just right. The next beginner crochet mistake is to only rely on free patterns that you find on the internet. Now, I am not against free patterns. I think they are wonderful, but it kind of goes back to the point that I made about being picky about who you learn from. And this is especially true when you're looking for free patterns on the internet. There are some amazing designers and companies that put out quality patterns, but unfortunately, there's a lot of junk out there on the internet. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I get DMs on Instagram all the time, and people will send me screenshots of a pattern and say, "Can you please help me with this?" And I will look through that pattern and think, nobody can decipher what this means because it is not right. And I want you to know that sometimes when you're working on a pattern and you think, I just can't get this, there's something wrong with me, it's not you, it's the pattern. And know that there are a lot of people on the internet who just throw stuff out there and they haven't had it tech edited. They haven't had it tested. They don't know the language of how you need to write a crochet pattern, and it can be super confusing and it can be downright just wrong. So be very picky about where you're getting these free patterns from. You can find them on big yarn companies will share beautiful patterns on their websites, and the point is they want to sell you the yarn to go with the pattern. But those patterns are typically written by professional crochet designers and they have been tested and tech edited. A lot of bloggers and designers also put their free patterns on their websites. I do, and I want you to know that if they are a legit designer, it's been gone through with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that there aren't mistakes, because that can be extremely frustrating as a beginner because you're likely to think that it's your problem, not the pattern. Another great place is crochet books, and you'll find those in the library. Use your local library if you have one, because book publications are generally some of the best patterns that you can find because they've been looked over by professionals, and it's usually a very experienced designer who is publishing the book anyway. So make sure to be really picky about the patterns that you choose, especially if you found them for free on the internet. These next two beginner crochet mistakes, in my opinion, are two of the most important. And this first one is to make sure that you are taking breaks. And I unfortunately made this mistake as a beginner, and it has had some pretty serious consequences for me. When I was still relatively new, but I had gained some skills, I enjoyed crocheting any minute I got. And if it was a Saturday and I could sit down and crochet for hours at a time, I would. And that was a big mistake. And I'm here to tell you, don't do that. It has caused so many problems for me that I'm still dealing with years later. Taking breaks is vital. You can end up with a repetitive motion injury, and those can take so long to heal. I ended up needing to go to physical therapy for it. I ended up having to have something called dry needling, but I'm still experiencing some pretty serious consequences from not taking breaks. So when you're sitting down to crochet, make sure every hour you're stopping for 10, 15, 20 minutes. You get up, you move around. Don't crochet every single day. It's not good for you. You need to let those muscles build themselves up. You wouldn't go out and just run a marathon without training for it. I know it sounds kind of silly to think of crocheting like marathon running, but you're overusing those muscles, and I beg you not to do it. Save yourself heartache and pain and a lot of time by just taking those regular breaks. And the last mistake is not focusing on your posture or stretching. When you are sitting down to crochet, I want you to have some back support. I want you to have some support maybe for your arms, especially if you're working on a heavy project, and as you're working, you are crocheting more and more and more, and it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier, like a blanket, for example. You may need some support under your forearms or under your elbows. Also, make sure, a lot of times we want to crochet and our shoulders get higher and higher and higher. We need to relax those shoulders. This will ease a lot of tension. And if you give your back the support that you need, you are going to help those muscles not to get super tight, because that can be really painful. And if we're slumped over and we're crocheting like this, we're going to cause a lot of issues for ourselves. And if you are a little bit older like I am, you already know this stuff, and you are probably like, I know what it feels like to have those back pains. But if you're younger, you may think, oh, that's not going to happen to me. Don't establish those bad habits now. Also, we need to stretch out these muscles. You're using them over and over and over again, and many of them are little tiny muscles, and I want you to focus on stretching. When you take those breaks, stretch your forearms. Really give this a nice stretch. It feels really good. Stretch them this way and then stretch this way. Also, roll your shoulders. This is a really good one to get your shoulders loosened up because they can get super tight. But I want to show you this supine twist. I do it in yoga a lot, and it feels so good for your back. Also, make sure to give your neck some love. So make some circles with your nose, going one way and the other way. Look to the left, look to the right, look up, look down. Really stretch those neck muscles as well, because we can get so tight in our back and our neck and our shoulders from having a wrong posture, crocheting too long, and not stretching those tight muscles out. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and that you are going to give yourself a pat on the back anytime you make a mistake, because it means that you had the courage to try something new. Don't get upset with yourself when you make a mistake. Just know that it's part of the learning process. I would love to hear from you. What is the biggest mistake that you've made as a crocheter? And help each other out by giving solutions, because I think that's one of the greatest things about this little community, is that we can share ideas with one another. But if you would like this video and also comment where you're from, I love knowing where you all live around the world. It's really neat to see such a diverse group of people here. But as always, stay safe out there and happy stitching.